Throughout maritime history, there have been experts on the water who knew how to navigate and locate their bounty. These individuals held the secrets to where, when, and how. This still holds true today. Get ready for an angling experience filled with sea secrets, fantastic fishing, and great destinations. For on this show, it's only the captain and the camera.
On this episode of Captain's Tales, we are sight-casting the crystal clear shallow water flats and potholes of Florida Bay.
All schooled up, tailing coming in on us. A lot of fun, shallow water. This big snook sitting in these holes.
On this charter, we are leaving from Flamingo, Florida, heading out into Florida Bay. Our destination is the shallow water flats that are located just south of Flamingo. On this tide, they are loaded with tailing redfish and some nice snook. Our captain on this trip is Jason Sullivan, who is best known for his shallow water fly fishing and sight casting prowess. And today he is poling us across the pristine, skinny water, crystal clear saltwater flats of Florida Bay. The plan today is to sight cast with spin tackle and artificial lures to hungry fish on the prowl in this crystal clear and extremely shallow realm.
Oh, is that a shark coming in? No, it's another red. Look at them all. Oof. Big fish. Above average Flamingo redfish here. A 26, 27-inch fish. All schooled up, tailing coming in on us. Just sitting right in there in the grass. All tailing, schooling, coming at us. Put anything in front of the schools and they're gonna jump all over it. Get the fish pushing at you and they're going a certain speed. And as soon as they kind of feel us or we get a little too close to them, they will either turn a certain way and speed up how fast they were going, and those fish are they kind of sense us before we can get a shot on them, or as we cast to them, and those fish are very difficult to feed.
In this natural world where the horizon blends into the sea, these flats are known for their prolific schools of tailing redfish, a sight caster's dream come true.
Another good 26, 27 inch redfish. Nice and golden. Good looking fish. Might have to cut this one. Now they blend in so well, especially with this turtle grass here, that as soon as you catch a fish, this will really help you when you're sight fishing for these, is watching it leave your hand and just following the fish. And all of a sudden the next shot you got is able to pick up what it looks like, because they blend in so well with this turtle grass here. Another schooled up tailing redfish right out in front of Flamingo. Today the plan was to get out early in the morning and fish for, look for the tailing redfish and the schooled redfish in really shallow water. Just poling along and seeing tails pop up and schools push along, and as the sun gets up, kind of switch tactics and start kind of blind casting with a little bit of sight fishing as well, because at times you do see some of these fish, and hitting the potholes, you know, when the sun's up a little bit higher in the sky and it's a little bit later in the day, and it's, you know, you could have some, you know, really exciting fishing doing that. Today we started off first thing in the morning fishing for tailing redfish and schooling redfish in really shallow water, and I really like using, I think it's a really effective technique, this Gulf shrimp. Rig it weedless. You know, you can kind of cast past the fish, bring it to them, let it drop. It won't get stuck in the grass as long as you keep the hook embedded in the shrimp. Very effective. Later, when the sun came up, we switched techniques and started fishing potholes. And, you know, if I have two anglers, it works out perfect because, you know, one can throw a spoon and drag them through the potholes and the edges of them, where the big snook and redfish are laid up in. And, you know, another angler or another technique that I like to do, one of my favorites actually, is a skitter walk, Rapala skitter walk. That way, you know, you can see the whole bite happen, coming up, the big, you know, big redfish and snook sitting in the potholes and come up and explode on your actual lure. So, you know, those are two very effective techniques when you're fishing potholes, and that way you can cover both, you know, top and mid depth of the water column. And again, you're, you know, still relatively shallow water, foot of water, so you got both techniques. About 90% of my trips, you know, we come down here to Flamingo Everglades National Park, which is about an hour or so outside of, just southwest or so of Miami. We come out here, and there's two options when you get down here. There's two ramps that you can put in. One that'll take you into Florida Bay, one that'll take you into whitewater. Main reasons I love fishing Flamingo, because there is so many different options and so many varieties of fishing that you can do in one day. South Florida native, grew up down here, and actually started at a young age bass fishing. Fished a lot of tournaments all over the state, and as soon as I got introduced to saltwater fishing, especially down here in Everglades National Park, you know, that completely absorbed me. I couldn't get enough of it, and I really enjoy polling clients around and anglers around and watching them, you know, catch their first redfish or snook or tarpon. Really a passion of mine to try to help, you know, anglers get on here and do things that they don't normally get to do. Well, I have today we fished out of the Maverick HPXS 17.5 or 17.8 flat skiff. Gets extremely shallow, and that's where we were able to get on some of the tailing redfish. And that's this is the main boat that I fish out of Everglades National Park. But I do have another boat. It's a 20-foot Pathfinder that allows me to take a few more anglers or fish in the downtown Miami area that I do a lot of at night for big tarpon and snook. Today was it was a lot of fun. It was very visual. I don't get a lot of opportunities to cast while I'm poling at fish that are tailing or pushing or sitting in potholes. So to be able to do that on a day is just, you can't beat it.
We are making a move to the flats off Snake Bight near the entrance of Flamingo, where Captain Jason knows this is Big Snook pothole territory.
We'll just kind of work this area in these holes and just kind of keep coming back and around, swinging back and around, and you know, you can hit them one time around, and if you can find them again, they'll definitely get something in front of them and hook up again. About 100 fish or so. you. Just going from pothole to pothole, throwing spoons and topwater plugs, and came up on a school of about 100 fish or so, just milling around. And as soon as we got the spoon and topwater plug right in them, just exploded on them. Nice little average size 24-inch redfish. Pretty cool. Water snook action. Sitting in the pothole, eating these little minnows that are swimming right over, blowing up these topwater baits. Everglades snook, about a foot of water. Do it again. That's a snook right there. Woo. Just sitting in a pothole, cast it about 7 or 8 times, and finally came back and ate the spoon. Just a lot of fun, shallow water. Big snook sitting in these holes.
Captain Jason's eagle eyes, angling knowledge, and athletic strength to accurately pole his skiff on these vast, beautiful flats is the stuff of legends. He makes it all come together when locating, sight casting, and catching fish for a very exciting and successful day on the water.
Big snook, shallow water. It's a lot of fun.
Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales, and catch us online at our website and Facebook page.
Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales, and try one more fishing spot online. Log on to www.captainstales.com.